Okay, good morning. It is just past dawn on Friday, March 15th, 2019, in the lunar cycle Bidaki, the eagle moon. And it's about time for me to do a weekly update, starting with the happy announcement that my season has officially commenced. I can confidently say that now. Over the past 2 or 3 days, I've had a bunch of calls for people wanting the skunk traps. Right now I've got, I think, 8 traps around town, but I'm sure today that will increase. And this morning I've got 2 animals to pick up. I've got a skunk here on the west side where we're going right now, and I've got a raccoon on the south side that we'll go grab a little bit later this morning. But yeah, things are on the move. Critters are on the run, and boy, I'm pretty relieved because even though I don't hope any bad for these critters, I needed to generate some revenue, so I'm happy about the change. Anyway, so we'll go pick those up, and then I'll talk some other things about what happened this week. So should be fine. Hey, Skunky. Oh, yes. Wasp. Yeah, you got yourself caught. What can I say? Go for a ride. Little ride. as usual, straight up the closest tree. Well, it's just past noon now, and I think that's all the animal calls we're going to get for today, at least for pickups anyway. But I'm happy with the two, and I'm happy especially because it was a skunk and a raccoon, which are the two different species that I work most closely with, and to know that both of them are on the move now and that the season's opening, for me, it's very welcomed. Things are getting underway, and I'm happy about that. But what else is going on in the life of Rye this week? Well, I find myself spending more and more time here. I'm currently parked at the Crossings branch of the Lethbridge Public Library, and I've been stopping off here mostly to rent movies. Once in a while, if I'm just running across setting up traps or doing different things on the west side, I might pull in here just to use the washroom. It's a public washroom, but mostly I'm coming in here to rent movies, and I've been renting movies for the kids to watch in the evenings, and sticking to mostly classic Disney ever since however many weeks back when I kind of re-watched Pinocchio and saw how symbolically laden that movie is and how artistically it's done and everything. Been watching a lot of the classic Disneys, and they're all real works of art, although none necessarily as heavily symbolic as Pinocchio. Anyway, yeah, I've been coming here for that, but I've also, the last couple of days I've been kind of scoping it out, and I think I might start using the library here as an office. I feel like I need a getaway to come and work. When I'm at Mahoney's house or Chelsea's apartment, doesn't really matter which. I find myself easily diverted with other projects that seem to be of more immediate need around the house and such, than doing some of the writing work that I have to do that's very important to get done. I'm looking at a couple of weeks away, having a deadline to have an installment of an educational exhibit around beavers at the nature center, and I have to have all the little excerpts and stuff, all the little what would you call it, interpretive work done, and it's got to be well crafted, and I'm not nearly there yet. I barely got a start on it, so I'm looking at this place and thinking, and that's not my only project. There's several writing projects and things, and some lit review type of projects that I'd like to do. And I need a secluded place to do that, I think, because I just get too distracted. So I'm looking at the library here, and maybe in the next week I might experiment with just forcing myself to spend 2 to 3 hours here every day doing some reading and writing work, on one of these projects, preferably the project with the deadline that's looming. But you never know. When you get me in front of a computer, I can easily procrastinate there too. But I'm hoping, that kind of isolating myself just for even just 2 hours a day, I could do a lot with, So that's my thinking here. We'll see what happens in the next week, but I might be more and more time in the library. So what else? I introduced in the last video that I posted the heirloom guitar that I received from my aunt, the one that used to belong to my dad and that I was raised playing a little bit of guitar on. And so this week I have spent time with that guitar. Tried to commit, 20 minutes or more a day to doing a little something with it. And haven't delved really into the flamenco techniques that I want to learn. That I was talking about in the last video, because I got to grow these nails out on this side just a little bit to really get to that. But I have been playing with a little rock and roll song. You know, one of the songs that I've been listening to during this time of crisis. I decided I'd learn to play that song. So I don't know if I'm going to tell you what it is quite yet, because I might do a reveal later. I might actually play it for YouTube if I get comfortable with it, but we'll see. Probably not. Or you might get a clip, or you know, might get it as background music to something. But yeah, I have been practicing with that guitar a bit. I've also been doing a little bit of physical training, not enough, not nearly like where I want to be, but on, you know, days when I have a lot of time here in the apartment by myself, I usually set up to do a strength circuit in between whatever else I might be doing here, whether I'm working on things or what have you. But I do this strength circuit because I have a pull-up bar here, I've got a dip bar, I've got my bench and some dumbbells and such. And so, you know, I just go through a basic strength circuit, and I try to do that circuit as many times as I can. And, you know, basically as many reps per circuit as I can. Not always going like absolutely to the limit. I mean, I don't mean when I say as many as I can, but you know, do it until it hurts pretty good before I set the weights down, you know, or stop doing my sit-up and stands or what have you. So I've done that a couple of days this week. I also had a couple of days where Chelsea had the day off, and so we were able to do a little bit of martial arts training. Not too much, and you know, there's a lot of refresher that needs to go on because she had only had a couple of months training in when, you know, all of this stuff blew up, and so now we've had a couple of months out and she needs a lot of refresher, but we'll get there as I, you know, recuperate my health in various ways. You know, I don't really feel healthy right now. I feel weak. I've dropped quite a bit of weight in a little time, you know, and it's still hanging pretty low. In fact, sometimes I measure every Monday morning, and you know, sometimes I'm surprised that it's still dropping. Might go into the 150s range at some point, which would be crazy. That's like when I graduated from high school last time I weighed in the 150s somewhere, but you know, I look in the mirror, I kind of feel like a lollipop, like I get in that big head and little frail little body. So I need to take aims to improve my health. My nutrition, as far as what I eat, has not been bad. I've kept it very clean, eating a lot of just roasted chicken and stuff. Probably not getting enough food in to replace what I'm using, which might account for some of the weight loss. But eating's fine. Drinking, on the other hand, is another story, because what I'm taking in fluid-wise is, you know, a lot of it's laced with alcohol. I've kind of been numbing myself out for a while, and I don't feel good about it, but it's the reality. And I know that's something that I need to wane back on significantly in order to feel healthy again. So that stuff is going on, but with the weather changing and stuff, I'm going to be able to get outside, and I think I'm going to get my run back on, and I think, you know, I'm going to get in a groove. In fact, end of next week, Saturday, we've got the Lethbridge Moonlight Run, which I'm going to participate in. So it's not too far. I think it's just 5 or 6 kilometers that I'm doing. But yeah, got to get back in shape. What else? The Jeep broke down again, which was convenient, you know, at a time when I've got like no resources. But you know, I remember being pretty strapped in other situations before, for, you know, resource wise, and I remember, you know, as I look back on those times, they don't look half bad. You know, in the midst of them, I'm feeling a lot of pressure, but in the long run, you know, these might end up feeling like good times. I don't know. Any case, I had just finished driving all the way back from standoff. I dropped Chelsea off at work out there, and so it was like 40 minutes on a rural highway. I'm glad that the vehicle didn't do what it did while I was on the drive, but as soon as I pulled in at the apartments here, I noticed that a bunch of steam started coming out of my engine compartment. Shit. I just got done running Chelsea out to work on the reserve and come back into town, and I was in four-wheel drive, and the vehicle started kind of lurching weird, and then I heard kind of a pop in the transmission, like as if it shifted into a proper gear. But along with that, I started seeing a lot of steam coming out of from under the hood, and it looks like probably the radiator fluid, probably the coolant antifreeze here, has somehow like spewed out, come spitting out. I don't know why, I don't know how. It's all over my engine compartment, and that's what's causing the steam. So I didn't think of it at the time because I'm not mechanically minded with cars very much. I'm learning one bit at a time as I encounter problems, but I didn't think about it, but it indicated an overheating, right? So that should have been obvious, but it wasn't to me until I messaged my friend Tom. I showed him a video of what was going on, and I'm like, what are your ideas on it? And he says, oh, it's you know, your engine's overheating. Could be your water pump is having a problem. Could be something with your thermostat. He said, let it cool down, and then refill the coolant, you know, with a 50/50, and then give it a test run just around the block a couple of times. And so I did that, and I let it cool way down, you know, refilled the coolant, and took it for the test drive, and it was bad news. Pretty quick it was overheating again. So Tom thought it was, you know, too much to even drive to his acreage on it without risking the engine, so he advised me to get it towed, which I did the next morning, and spent the whole of the next day out there with Tom, you know, and he was helping me get at the problem. So we took the whole fan assembly and radiator cover, fan assembly, and the serpentine belt and everything off to access the water pump, and then it was pretty clear once we had the serpentine belt off, even before, you know, when moving the fan piece that's attached into the water pump, that something wasn't right. Hey, it was way too loose. So we end up replacing the water pump, and then it works now. But it's a really good thing I got a buddy like Tom, because with no resources, you know, even the tow I had to put on credit, right, which I'll pay back quick enough. I think my insurance, in fact, will pay it back for me. But Tom ended up putting the part itself, the water pump, the new one, on one of his accounts, and then I'll just owe him like a day of labor out there doing one of the projects that I do out at his acreage. And then he said, don't worry about, you know, as far as his time and stuff, because he enjoyed the company and hanging out with me and talking about different things as we're doing this project and stuff. But, you know, I just lucky I got him and all his tools, because it did take some specialized tools that you're not going to get in your average, you know, everyday man's toolkit from Canadian Tire. You know, Tom had these air pressure tools that were really important, especially in, you know, getting a fan off. We needed basically an air chisel to get that sucker off. And then there was parts of it that, you know, we struggled with, not knowing any better. So we were using Sawzalls and, you know, these different rotating blades and grinders and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. But got the thing fixed. It's working. It's back on the road. Tom saved my ass. And yeah, so there was that, the vehicle breakdown. What else? Oh yeah, maybe last but not least, Chelsea decided this week to get a nose ring put in. So I guess it's something that she's been wanting to do for a long time, but she was, you know, discouraged from doing before, and she wanted to get at it. She's also looking to get some new tattoos and stuff. And so, yeah, we went down to this place across the river called Jaded that does a lot of tattoos and piercings and stuff here in Lethbridge. And she had a consultation for one of the tattoos she's looking at getting. And then yeah, she had a nose ring put in. So I recorded the whole deal, and I'll probably leave this update with that video segment of the nose ring installment. Get back to y'all next week or so.
I work with Ida.
Oh, so you're pretty familiar with it. What do you do for work?
I'm a nurse.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'll let that sit for a minute while we clean the inside. That being a little more sensitive area, I just use rubbing alcohol for that. So it doesn't smell very good, but it does the job. So take a big breath in and hold it. And breathe out through the nose. Excellent. And just kind of tap this dry. Good. Then we'll make a little dot on there and see what you think of where I put it. I'm seeing a perfect little spot already though. Just right here. Scrunch like a little bunny. Perfect, and then just relax. Now there's a nice big mirror just over here if you don't mind coming over and taking a look. I have a handheld, but I broke it yesterday. I think that's perfect, hey? Excellent. Okay, unfortunately I do need your gum to be spit out. If you can just set it in there for me, I'll chuck her. And then you're gonna go ahead and just lay down flat on your back for me, okay? Now, this will naturally make your eye water, so I'm gonna give you a Kleenex, and you may want to take your glasses off. You're actually gonna get a little better view if you're over here, because I'm gonna be on that side of her, okay?
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Tons of fun. All right, Chelsea, like I say, it's gonna be super, super quick from here. But what's gonna make it easiest for you is if you just take a few nice deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Good. Just wheel on over here. Oh, I almost forgot your jewelry. I'm getting so excited to do this for you.
The actual stud.
Yeah, kind of an important part of the process here. Goodness. Yeah, by all means, get a close-up of all that stuff. This is our piercing needle, setting in some lubricating jelly. This is our receiving tube. We'll be going right up inside her nose. And then this is our piece of jewelry that's going to be going in there. Fun stuff.
Very nice.
All right, Chelsea, some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Here comes that little tube right up inside. Good. Awesome. And breathe out. Good job, girl. You did fantastic. Put a little cork on so we don't give you a free lip piercing.
Yeah.
And one more nice deep breath in and breathe out. Excellent. I'll just clean the area and we're all done.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, you did fantastic. I find nurses will be one of two ways, and they either do excellent or they don't like having it done at all.
I do have a tear though.
Yep. I'll get that one for you. But just one tear is not bad at all. Oh my gosh, it's so cute on you. You better turn to the camera so you can get a close up. Beautiful. That oval, seriously, perfect on you.